Honestly, if it wasn't for a name, you wouldn't figure out what that is. Hey guys, I've got something really cool to talk about. This is GravaStar Mars Pro, and it's just awesome. And you know what's awesome than this? Having two of them. Why two? Because they work with TWS, which is True Wireless Stereo. And today we're going to see how awesome they look and how awesome they sound. When I firstly seen the product pictures, I was already on board with it because I like Warhammer 40k and the design of it and the aesthetics just appeals to me. But what I didn't realize was the actual size. I mean, once the boxes arrived, I was just like, honestly, this is this big? So I could not wait to peek inside, open it up, and take the GravaStar Mars Pro out. I mean, just look at this thing. And the best thing is, it has an evil brother. Ever since I knew that coming, I decided to share some pictures with colleagues and friends and basically show off. And the first question that everyone asked me was, what is it? It looks cool, but what is it? And you are forgiven for not knowing that this is actually a Bluetooth speaker. I mean, nothing really gives it away when you just looking at it. Whatever you might think about the design, you have to give it to a GravaStar team that the quality of the design and the quality of the manufacturing is pretty stunning. And if you don't particularly like this design, then you can take a look online for additional 5 other designs to pick from. If you ended up with a model from a special edition, you're also gonna find extra accessories in a box which allow you to further customize the look of the speaker. These are attachable with magnets and you can rotate them and swap them around. There are only 2 attachment points, so bear that in mind. Both speakers are very heavy, just over 2 kilograms, so feel absolutely solid in your hand and it's not something you would like to drop on your feet. Now the top head is made of alloy with some plastic elements here and there, but majority of elements on that design is actually made of metal and it feels really sturdy. The first thing that probably grabs your attention are articulated legs, which you can bend to different positions and allow for small adjustments of the speaker. I mean, they just look so cool. I mean, I can't help it but just smile every time I look at the both of the speakers. The second prominent feature are the RGB LEDs scattered across the entire model. Now those come with various light effects, so you can change different colors, you can set them to breathe, or you can actually set them to respond to the music that you're listening to. That pattern can be further adjusted by increasing volume or changing the overall color theme of all RGB. Now on the top of the speaker you'll find the touch sensitive volume bar, which is really cool and looks neatly as a part of the design. At the back are hidden 3 buttons to pair, control the playback and change the light effects. Also at the bottom you'll find USB Type-C for charging, which doubles also as an audio interface which supports 3.5mm jack. Both charging and the audio cables are included in the package. Now the battery inside claims up to 15 hours and I'm yet to run out of batteries on those units, but if you don't like charging them up with a charging cable, then you can spend extra $60 and get this awesome pad that will charge it for you. I mean, this thing is insane. There is a very specific reason why I've been sent 2 of those units, and this is TWS, True wireless stereo.
Network connected.
As you can see right now, those two units are paired together and will respond as a Bluetooth stereo speaker, which you probably are familiar. It's a great feature that I often use on my Alexa speaker, so having two separate speakers that you can place apart from each other and enhance your audio, well, it's definitely a feature I would recommend having. And here, unfortunately, we're gonna come to my first complaint. Now, while having true wireless stereo is awesome, this option doesn't work if you are using the USB to 3.5mm jack cable. Once you connect the cable and plug this via cable, you lose the ability to stream the music from one unit to another, which is rather disappointing. If you want to continue using them in a stereo fashion, then you'll have to use two separate cables and manage the connection either via cable splitter or to connect it to a different jacks in, for example, your computer. By now you probably know that I really like this design, but how does it sound, which is something that is most important. These are equipped with Bluetooth 5.0 and obviously connect to whatever device you have at hand. I've used it with my computer, projector in my bedroom, and also with my phone to play some music, and I think I'm ready to pass the judgment. First of all, there was no problems with pairing. It's very simple. Hold the button, you'll find it on the list, and you're done. Whether I was using a projector on my mobile, I didn't have any problems, but with my computers I did experience a latency difference between the video and the sound. Now the latency wasn't really bad, so it was just noticeable but not annoying, but I wish they had the same mode as with GravaStar Mars Pro, the headset I reviewed in this video, which had a gamer mode allowing you very low latency streaming. Now, I didn't have these problems on my Xiaomi Mi 11 or on my Xiaomi projector, so I think it's down to what kind of equipment you're going to be using to connect to these two. Sound-wise, they come with 2.5-inch speakers, one dedicated for bass and one dedicated for mid-tones and trebles. It means that they are very loud. Thanks to the metal enclosure, they can provide you with quite significant bass, and they can fill the room with sound. I actually enjoyed having them around, and I will consider them as a permanent setup of my desktop PC because I've been meaning to get speakers for my PC for ages. GravaStar Mars Pro starts from $229, which is quite expensive. Now you do pay for eye candy for sure, but the sound is pretty solid. But the most expensive speakers, the custom theme ones, they go as far as $349, which is a lot to pay for a single speaker. If you do want to enjoy the true wireless stereo, then obviously you have to buy at least two of them to have fun with that. And while you can definitely get much less expensive speakers with true wireless stereo, they're probably not going to end up looking this awesome. So if you're going to spend that much money in a speaker, there's probably a couple of things that I would find quite useful, maybe even excessive, but quite fun to be had on the speakers like this. First of them is the ability to articulate the speaker a little bit more. One of the things that I found I think the most annoying is the fact that I couldn't rotate the base, as once I get the legs in a position it would be nice to have extra 90-degree or rotation to make sure everything looks really nice. Second, the light effects, as much as I appreciate it, they are a little bit basic. I'd like to see different LED zones with maybe a Bluetooth app that you can use to control these and set it up, or maybe even pair it with a Razer Chroma, so it would become a part of your PC setup and synchronize with whatever is on the screen right now. That would be really, really awesome. Lastly, custom voice packs for this thing would be great because they sound on power on really awesome. But there is a caveat to that, because if you leave this speaker unattended and unconnected for a couple of minutes, especially after watching a movie,
Network disconnected.
Once it disconnects from the network, it will make that annoying sound, waking up everyone around you. So you may want to think about it in advance. Having ability to turn it on and off would be much appreciated. Lastly, honestly, if I'm going to spend that much money in a speaker, I would really like them to move the legs a little bit to the music, because that would be super awesome. So if you are guys interested, the links to these speakers gonna be down in the video description. I have to say, first time I'm really happy to be in this position where I can enjoy speakers like that, have them in my setup, and not face the final bill, which feels a little bit pricey. But nonetheless, you have to say those are really cool looking speakers. So do let me know what would actually sway you to get speakers like this, and what would be the feature that you would like to see on the next iteration. Also, they have a slightly cheaper range which is called Venus, so you probably want to check it out as well because it looks cool too. So guys, I do not have a posting schedule, so if you want to know what's next and you know how YouTube works, I'm not going to teach you all that again, all other YouTubers did. What I'm going to say, I do have a couple of social media. You can pick one of your choice and stay connected, and that way you'll be always up to date with projects I'm sharing while making them. So take advantage of that, and I'll see you there. Take care. Bye!